What is going on, guys, on the YouTube? It is your boy TAXX Anderson, and I'm back with another video on Monday. Today I'm going to be talking about how to be a good DJ, and specifically how to please a crowd and how to read the crowd. So let's get into it. Okay, so let me explain something first. So I've been DJing for about 3 years now. This is something I get asked all the time. You know, DJs come up to me who are just starting out and they say, how do I be a good DJ? What do I do? What are the skills I need to learn? Basically, how do I please a crowd and how do I make the crowd love me when I DJ? So step number one in pleasing a crowd is you have to figure out the crowd. So you have to test. You have to test the crowd. And how you do this is you play a banger, a really well-known song that people like from each genre, and try and figure out what they vibe to. And by each genre, I don't mean like play jazz, play opera, play the top genre, so hip hop. Play, you know, a more girly song, Taylor Swift, that people can sing to. Play an EDM remix of a top 40 hit that has a really hard drop and see what happens, you know? Play country, play country. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, TAXX, how do I test a crowd if there's only 10 people in the crowd? You know, you can't really test a crowd. That's not a crowd. Wrong! You can totally test a crowd if there's 3 to 10 people. In fact, sometimes it's even better that way because you know what they like right off the bat before people get here, and then when people get here, you're already playing. So once you do that, you pay super close attention to how they're reacting. So that is step number 2, is watch for indicators and how they're reacting. If they are totally jumping around, jumping up and down, screaming the words to your song, that's probably a good choice, that genre. If they're just kind of, you know, doing this, whatever, sometimes people just do this. It's kind of, they don't hate it, they're grooving to it. But if they're just standing perfectly still like this, they're not even smiling, you know, they're probably like talking to their friend group, you know? And if that's happening, totally an indicator that you need to ditch that genre and move on to the next genre. The last piece of advice I'll give with reading a crowd is once you find something that people do love, once you do find something they love, play those type of songs about 70% of the time, and the other 30% play whatever you think is different that they also might like. Play some hip hop, play some top 40s EDM songs, but for the majority of the time you want to play what they absolutely love. And you can mix in what they love to something else. For example, a Taylor Swift song that everyone knows all the words and they can sing along to can be an EDM remix that has a drop that also caters to all the EDM bass heads in the crowd. So you can kind of cater to both you know, sides of the crowd at one time, which is a little more difficult, but it's definitely something that you can do. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how to please the crowd. And this is something that I think every DJ in the world should do, because that's just how you get people to enjoy you as a DJ and how to like you as a DJ. You know, I used to play so I used to be this guy, I used to play whatever I loved, whatever kind of music that I liked. And I guess it's different if you're like a music producer and you're touring the world and people are paying to come see you perform the music that you produced and you love. And it's also different if you're DJing someone's wedding and they hired you to DJ the music that they want. Or if it's a college party, which I do a lot of, and they just want to come enjoy a good time. They didn't come to see what you produced, they came to dance and be with their friends. So this is kind of advice more towards that DJ who's just DJing a wide variety of things, you know, weddings, college parties, clubs, bars, things like that. It's a little bit different when you are a music producer and you're touring the world playing for crowds who love your music. So to those DJs, I say these are, 3 bits of advice that will totally save your butt. So the first thing, number 1, is play music that people know and love. Okay, play music that people know and love. And so, because if you're not playing music that people know and love, they're just kind of sitting in the crowd and they're like, oh, I don't really know this song, like, hey, let's go check out this food, let's go check out that inflatable or something. And they won't really stick around. You gotta play music that they know and that they absolutely love, and then they're gonna stick with you and they're gonna have a good time. Number 2 is you want to change the mood as the night goes on. You wanna change the beats per minute, you wanna change the genre a little bit. For example, if you're just starting out at a party, you wanna play more hip hop, more kind of well-known hip hop that is a slower BPM. You know, I want to say like 60 to 90 beats per minute. And as the night goes on, as more people start coming and coming, you want to start bringing it up a little bit to like 105. That's a good middle ground, 105. So 100 beats per minute to 110. You know, and then once a lot of people start coming, that's when you get to 120 to like 128. There's a lot of songs that are 128 that are awesome for, you know, climax of a party, you know, and then songs in the 150 as well, 140, 150. Those are really good for like kind of like the peak of a party. And then as the night goes on, you want to kind of simmer it back down. The last thing that you guys want to do is make sure to be on that microphone talking to the crowd the whole night. If you're not doing that, it's kind of like you're that DJ who's just sitting up there playing your own music, you know, and you're not interacting with the crowd at all. They're not really going to remember you as much, and they're not going to think of you as a good DJ. Make sure to always be as interactive with the crowd as you can. And there's a lot of things that you can do to interact with the crowd. I do a lot of contests and stuff. I like to get people on stage, have everyone put their hands up, and then have these 2 people just fly off and have them crowd surf. I like to do races. One time I had 2 surfboards and I had the crowd hold up these surfboards like this, and people got on the surfboards and the crowd pushed them all the way to the back and to the front, 2 of them at the same time, and whoever got to the front first won some kind of a giveaway. I mean, there's lots of stuff that you can do to get the crowd kind of interacted and involved. All right, there it is, guys. My DJ tips for you guys, for all those bedroom DJs out there that might just be starting out, you know, and they are not really sure what to play for a crowd or how to please a crowd. Make sure if you guys have any questions to leave them down below, and I would love to answer them for you guys. I know there's a lot of stuff that I didn't really talk about as well. If I missed anything, you know, be sure to let me know down here, and I will do my best to make a different video about it or to answer them the best I can. Thank you guys so much for being with me, and I will see you guys next Monday. Peace.